it's crazy because it's almost like, I had a full life with the whole Amebix thing, stopped that, and disappeared to an island, and there was no communication with that old world at all. So that had always been in my psyche. And I grew up in a family where my father was a gunsmith, and he'd been into antiques and stuff like that. And as a younger kid, I went into the cadets, so I was interested in military stuff, as well as being kind of like, anti-violence, anti-military on the one hand. I kind of also had had experiences with that too. When I came to Sky, I got involved, as I said, in some occult thought, and also with people who were interested in Arthurian mythology, and they turned on all these buttons. And it's kind of like, of course, the central symbol of the Arthurian mythos is the sword, is Excalibur itself. And I was interested in understanding what that meant at a psychological level. And my perception of that was drawing the sword from the stone was a way of talking about the story of the early smith being able to extract metal from rock, and that being the magic of that particular time in our prehistory. So this was the idea of the smith being the transmitter of magical knowledge. And I'm thinking, oh, I'd like to be able to make a sword. So I started a little forge, and there was no material available. There was no internet. So I'd write to the bookshops and get a book back and learn a little bit from this, a little bit from that. And I gradually taught myself just as an enthusiasm that I had. It wasn't, I didn't look to make any money, first of all, because I was working in the hotels and I was spending a lot of time walking in the hills here or whatever at my free time. And then people come and say, could you make me a knife? I do this, I do that, and do the rest. And for now, it's 35 years. So I've been doing it for that time. Yeah, it's crazy because it's almost like, I had a full life with the whole Amebix thing, stopped that, and disappeared to an island. And there was no communication with that old world at all. And then things came around. In the meantime, I've been making swords for this time. So self-taught. It took maybe this last 10, 15 years, I've started to make a living from it. So I make a living by what I do, and I love what I do as well.